Liz Truss's book is quite a revelation. Of course, she's got all this stuff about the deep state. But within the book, she's also got a lot of admissions that she was quite unpleasant to the people who were there to help her, the civil servants, the assistants, and so on. And so, of course, she's going to have difficulty finding someone to book a hair appointment for her. Of course, she's going to find that she's in a place where she doesn't like heights, and nobody's bothered to check. Why would anybody bother to check anything for Liz Truss when she's been so foul to all the people who are there to support the Prime Minister, to support her? And you get the impression that she doesn't seem to have realized that she was the author of her own downfall. Her downfall was because she was so vile to all those little people who support the big people who are there on the stand. It's the little people, the people who do the cleaning, the people who sort things out, the people who make sure that you're looking your best, the people who do your makeup. All of these people are the people that you're nice to, but Liz Truss doesn't seem to have ever learnt that lesson. And she's quite proud about it, explaining how unpleasant she was to officials. And so why would anybody help her? Since then, she's taken the book as an opportunity to be nasty about those people who were working on her right hand, people like Kwasi Kwarteng. She didn't expect the extra tax. His fault. And yet she was the person who was talking about Kwasi Kwarteng's prodigious package all the time. And she was the person who was bigging him up. And yet, the moment it all fails, Kwasi Kwarteng is responsible for causing the problem. And his fateful mini-budget, his fault, not hers. And yet she's still allowed to get away with this nonsense, with this fantasy about the deep state. The only difference between Liz Truss and Nadine Dorries is Nadine Dorries, oddly, and I say this almost between my teeth, Nadine Dorries can write. Liz Truss, the rubbish, the sentence structure, the nonsense of her book. The book is good for one thing only, and that's pulping. And it's a dreadful piece of writing. It's dreadful about somebody who simply she has no idea about the image that she creates. She says at one point, there is no time for finger pointing. Well, I can point my finger, and I can point my finger almost on every one of the 320 dire pages that this is somebody who should never have been given the key to the front door of number 10. She should never have been promoted into the Foreign Office. She did enough damage in the Foreign Office, and she did more damage in number 10, and she expects to go back. And she thinks that there's a possibility that she can have another crack at the job. The lady is for turning. She needs to turn round and look at herself in the mirror and recognize that she either changes dramatically and she starts listening to other people, or she simply needs to be voted out of office completely.